We are following breaking news. The LAPD is in pursuit of an armed suspect. Assignment manager Mark Liu is at the desk with more details. Mark, this person actually shot at someone?
Well, they're calling this a shooting suspect, Amy. That's what the LAPD call was on the scanner. Units on the ground in the Newton division, that's in the South LA division, started this pursuit about 20 minutes ago. They said they were following this vehicle, one person inside, just the driver, considered to be an armed and dangerous shooting suspect. That was the report that the ground units gave to the air unit. And the ground unit said, we believe that this driver may be armed with some kind of a firearm and is considered armed and dangerous. Now, this pursuit started after ground units tried to light this vehicle up, lights and sirens. The driver refused to comply and the pursuit was on. Now, where we are here is heading away from the Exposition Park area where this has been for the last 20 minutes. We're on the westbound 10. LAPD units believe they know where the driver lives. They said that this driver lives in the area of 40th and Broadway. That's just on the east side of the 110, east of the Coliseum. That's where this pursuit had been for the better part of 20 minutes. Now we are seeing a departure from that area all the way west here into the West Adams area. Now, there's been some reckless driving, Amy, by this driver. At one point, I heard the air unit call out that this driver was on the sidewalk. Now, we haven't seen that kind of behavior since then, but we are seeing behavior like this going around cars and going through stoplights at very high speeds here. It looks like LAPD units there are right behind this driver. They went into tracking mode a short time ago. That's where those ground units, they back off, they turn off their lights and sirens, and it's only followed by an air unit. But now it looks like those ground units with the LAPD are getting a lot closer. And now
wild U-turn.
A rapid move by this driver as LAPD units are right on his tail here. You see that black and white helicopter near the top of your screen. That's an LAPD air unit that's been following this since the beginning. So it looks like we may be getting back on the freeway here, perhaps back eastbound on the 10. I'm not sure which freeway this or where he's going right now. No, it looks like it's back on the 10 west again here as we continue to head westbound further towards, say, the Culver City area if he continues in this direction. Oh, no, this is the 10 east, so we are going back towards Exposition Park where this pursuit had started.
Definitely aggressive driving there. It makes you wonder if there perhaps were spike strips or something that they saw up ahead, and that's why they made that aggressive U-turn. But certainly a dangerous situation here because not only is this driver causing, some serious concern to everybody that is on the road, but because police believe that he is armed with a gun, there is no telling how dangerous this person really could be and how desperate they are to get away from police right now, Mark.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I heard the radio traffic loud and clear from the lead unit in the pursuit. That officer very clearly said, I'm going to need 5 patrol car units or 5 ground units with me on this pursuit, considering that the suspect is armed and dangerous, armed with a firearm. That was very clearly stated to the watch commander and to the air commander here that was overhead. That air commander immediately took control of that pursuit and is calling out the direction of travel and coordinating ground units here, as this is some of the most aggressive driving now that we have seen from this driver. The only information we have, male adult in the driver's seat here, and now wedged between these two cars here on the off-ramp. I believe this is at Venice, right here in the West Adams area, mid-city area. Trying to get through this traffic here at the end of the off-ramp. LAPD right behind these other drivers, probably confused as to what's going on. It's unclear if that pursuit driver made contact with either of the cars on either side. If it was very minor. But now this driver refusing to give up, trying to make his way through the off-ramp here as we're getting off the freeway perhaps. Yeah, it's on Venice, Venice Boulevard, I believe, right here off the 10 freeway.
Yeah, definitely in a sticky little situation there. Now, we did get a closer look at that driver as SkyCal was shooting through the window there, so we could see that driver. Could not see a weapon there, but we are certainly seeing some very aggressive. Oh, my goodness. Look at that, Mark. Yeah. Making another aggressive U-turn, almost hitting that other car, and those other 2 cars almost tapped each other there. Yeah,
this is going to become worrying for the air unit. The watch commander here is now, it doesn't look like that car came out from underneath the overpass of the 10 freeway here at Fairfax.
There's one car right there. You see it there?
It's, SkyCal is trying to, there he is. Okay, he came back the other way. Again, very reckless driving. Looked like he made a U-turn perhaps underneath the freeway and now is back on the freeway again. I believe this is, again, westbound, heading again towards the beach. What we know about this driver, again, wanted is a shooting suspect. Unclear what shooting this person is believed to be involved in. We're calling LAPD headquarters. My colleagues at the assignment desk in the newsroom are trying to get some more information about that. It's believed that this driver is the only one in the vehicle, but again, the lead officer in this pursuit did communicate that they believe that the suspect was armed and dangerous, armed with some kind of a firearm, and asked for more officers in this pursuit due to the dangerous nature of the suspect that they are chasing here. And it just seems, Amy, we are seeing more and more erratic behavior since those LAPD units have come up closer to this driver. They sort of exited that surveillance or tracking mode stance that we saw before and are actively engaging this driver. This kind of behavior from LAPD indicates to me that they do not want to hand this over to another police agency, and they definitely want to get this person into custody, even though they do have the license plate of this car. And the lead officer did say they believe they know where this driver lives. It appears they do not want to wait and get this driver later. They want to take him into custody now.
And of course, Mark, all pursuits are dangerous, but law enforcement says that on the freeway is less dangerous because you don't have the pedestrians, you don't have the stop signs, you don't have the stoplights. And this person, once they are on those side streets, they are driving so erratically. I mean, making such extreme U-turns, really causing big concern on those side streets. So the freeway is a little less dangerous, but still very dangerous as they're driving so aggressively and really just refusing to stop or give up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The 10 is never not busy. There's always traffic on the 10. So this fleeing driver here is going to have to negotiate all of these other people on the freeway this afternoon heading westbound. It's going to get even more congested as we get closer and closer to the beach here. Very soon we're going to cross the 405 freeway and head into the Sawtell area. And if this driver keeps going, they're going to end up in Santa Monica. They are going to have to make a decision about getting off the freeway at that point. Now, it's unclear if this driver has any goal in mind, where they are going. They spent most of the early part of the pursuit around the Exposition Park area, but now we continue to head west, and we see this dangerous driving. Speeds probably a little bit too fast. You can see all of these cars that this driver is passing, and it gets congested here as you get closer to the 405. And so LAPD, it's unclear if SkyCal can see any of those LAPD units behind, but I definitely see an LAPD air commander, an air unit overhead that is tracking this fleeing driver here, and they very likely will stay with it even if it leaves the jurisdiction of the LAPD.
Exactly. And the fact that they know where this suspect lives and the fact that they are not taking any chances, not calling off this pursuit, shows you that this person is definitely considered armed and dangerous. And we do know that this person was wanted for possibly, well, at least being called a shooting suspect. So we have to assume that they shot at someone and now trying to get away from police, refusing to pull over, and really, really doing some aggressive driving. Still on the 10, and you were saying, Mark, that the suspect lived in the area of 40th and Broadway, so it'll be interesting to see if they do, in fact, try to get back to that area.
Yeah, the ground unit was very clear that they knew where the suspect lives, which makes a very good indication that they have positively identified this suspect. They also have the license plate of the car. It's a gray Toyota. They called it out on the radio. So even if they lose this car, which I don't think that they will, being that there are so many units close by and an air unit overhead, they have a pretty good idea of who they're looking for. It sounds like this, if this is a shooting suspect, it's probably a very serious incident if they are being this determined in taking this person into custody here, despite this. Again, reckless moves here on the freeway, multiple lane changes very fast at once, going around cars, trying to get away from the ground units behind. Those ground units very likely, I couldn't tell if they have their lights and sirens on, but they are close enough that this doesn't appear to be a tracking mode situation. This is definitely an active pursuit here. And we continue westbound. Now we've already crossed through the 405, past the 405 freeway. We're just north of Santa Monica Airport, getting closer to the beach. You know, the 10 freeway ends, and it's either going to end up, he's going to either end up on PCH or he's going to end up on the streets of Santa Monica here in just a few minutes.
And on the right side of your screen, we are showing you a closer look at that suspect shot through that window from SkyCal. And on the left side is, of course, the live look at this pursuit. And This person has been very aggressive. Just moments ago, Mark, the driver started to move towards the slow lane, thinking that maybe they were going to get off, but then they, aggressively went to the other lanes there. Again, we are showing you on the right side of your screen video from a little earlier and showing you the aggressive driving. Those U-turns, there were several U-turns that were made very close together where this person was just trying to get away, and also showing you when they got a little pinned in there with all of that traffic all waiting to get off of the 10. But, of course, they're all waiting for that light to change, and this person's trying to squeeze through, and there's one of those U-turns. So aggressive. Just doing whatever it takes, Mark, to get away.
Yeah, getting a little bit more information. It looks like this pursuit started near Main and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, which happens to be just about a half a mile from 40th and Broadway, so very close to where they believe this suspect lives. So this could very well have perhaps been a surveillance trying to locate this suspect, and when they found him, they tried to take him into custody. Wow, again, now we're seeing here, we're getting off at the 4th and Colorado right here. This is essentially where the 10 freeway ends in Santa Monica, so we are going to be on surface streets here. It looked like perhaps he made a northbound turn, so we are heading north now into the Santa Monica area. This is where streets get really tight. Certainly residents of Santa Monica know how narrow the streets can be here. A lot of them one way, like we're seeing here as well. So the maneuverability is going to go down as this suspect continues to negotiate around cars and right through intersections with no regard to any streetlights or stop signs or anything like that. LAPD units are going to be there, do their absolute best to keep up with this. And look at this wild move here.
And look at all the pedestrians. So many people in that intersection, Mark. Look at that. And they're stopping right in the middle there. Stopping in the middle. Yeah,
that's right. And these are LAPD units, again, behind, as certainly Santa Monica PD has been informed. And now on the wrong side of the road here, very dangerous, really aggressive attempts to get away. This driver appears perhaps not very familiar with this area.
Look at that. And look at all the people there on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and on the sidewalk, certainly now people are beginning to realize this is a very dangerous situation. Pedestrians here. That's the
my goodness.
That's
look at
the
that
pier.
intersection.
I believe that's the Santa Monica Pier, right? That's the entrance, that archway right there. I believe.
Look at this, Mark.
Yeah,
Just
I certainly hope this driver does not attempt to drive.
Intersection, waiting maybe for people to get out of the intersection. The lot is full, so they're seeing that this is not a road. It's a parking lot, although they may have been trying to get into that parking lot to try to get out of the car and ditch the car and get away. But right now, this driver just stuck there in the intersection. And we know that this person may have a gun in that car, so we clearly know how dangerous it is. But a lot of the people that are on the sidewalk, they have no idea.
Yeah, they're just now this driver is now getting out with a dog. He's got a dog on a leash right now. This is a good sign, though. Hands up, on their knees. This is the way that LAPD had hoped that this would end, without any sort of violence. Right here at the entrance to the pier, lots of pedestrians. You can be guaranteed that LAPD is on their loudspeaker telling people to get out of the way. They don't want a crossfire situation. And that dog, they're still right by that driver. Looks like now off the leash, walking towards the pier. But LAPD, even though they believe that driver's the only one in the car, they are going to be very, very careful and make sure that they clear that car before they take that driver into custody. They don't want any surprises, but you can see a standard tactic here. We've seen it so many times. At the end of the pursuit, officers gathering, they're organizing themselves down there. They will approach this driver and take him into custody and then clear that car.
Yeah, so often when these pursuits happen, the windows are tinted very dark. We can't see if anyone else is in the car, but they certainly have to make sure that it is clear before they, just walk up there without protecting themselves. So we're watching as the suspect is laying on the street there in the middle of that intersection, right where they came to a stop. And I think it was only because they kind of got themselves pinned into that intersection. And we've been watching as the dog, unfortunately, he had the leash. He was holding on to the dog, but he had to let the leash go as he was laying there. And now the dog is wandering in the intersection. And those officers are getting themselves prepared to approach that suspect and that car. It looks like they might be giving them some instructions there.
Yeah, you can see these officers are taking this very carefully. You can see an officer right down there. SkyCal had the view of that officer holding that green rifle. That's a 40 millimeter, less than lethal round, fires a very large foam round. And now you can see officers approaching that suspect and car under cover of a ballistic shield. As I suspected, they are going to clear that car first, make sure there are no surprises in there. And now they are going to approach that suspect. Look at the number of officers in this arrest team. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 officers. So this is definitely considered an armed and dangerous suspect. Again, they had high suspicions that this driver had a firearm with them in the car, so they're taking no chances. And now it looks like this is a code 4. That suspect is in custody. No injuries to anyone involved here, thankfully.
And so glad to see that this ended without anyone getting hurt, because this was definitely a lot of reckless driving at high rates of speed. You're watching now as the suspect, who was being described as a shooting suspect, is now in custody. They're checking the trunk. That is also clear. And again, this pursuit has ended now just before 1 o'clock after starting at about 12:20. Again, a shooting suspect now in custody.